Well, I've talked to both. I've talked to military authorities and I've talked to the civilian authorities. And when I talk to military authorities, there is no interest in engaging in politics. The military is rightly focused on winning this war, on fighting this war, getting this equipment that's needed, getting the soldiers that are needed, uh, figuring out the tactics and the strategy. The military is really focused on winning this war. The same is true on the civilian side. And when I ask the civilian side, the leaders, if there is any question about unity, they say no. They say no. They say that the military and civilians are united. Now, we do hear stories. You have probably reported stories of this, but there's no interest that I have seen on the part of the military to engage in the politics. And the civilian authorities are very eager to have the military authorities succeed. So they are not interfering in military decisions. The civilians are maintaining the support for the military effort, and that unity between the Ukrainian military and Ukrainian civilian leadership is very important. And I have made that point. Others have made that point. It's very important to maintain that unity between the civilians and the military, and all of Ukrainians. Ukraine is going to win this war if it stays united. And if it stays united internally and it stays united with its European partners and its American partners and its Far Eastern partners, it's going to win this war if the unity is there. In this meeting in July, here in Washington, there will be the opportunity for the NATO leaders to invite Ukraine to start the negotiation process toward membership in NATO. There is that opportunity. I think that the NATO leaders are not there yet. They haven't made that decision yet. They're thinking about it, and they got several months more to think about it and come to the conclusion that the right way to proceed is to give Ukraine the invitation to start the negotiations toward membership. Everyone understands. Everyone understands that a nation at war cannot join the NATO alliance while it's still at war. However, that nation, Ukraine, can start the negotiations toward membership. There are a lot of decisions that have to be made before Ukraine can actually join the alliance. One, of course, is has to finish this war. It has to finish this war, end this war, win this war. When that happens, then there's some other decisions that have to be made on just the mechanics, logistics, the regulations, the compatibility between the Ukrainian military and the rest of the NATO military. All of those negotiations are important. They should start. They should start next July at the summit. And then, as soon as the war is over, as soon as, as the Ukrainians say, after the victory, then Ukraine will be able to join NATO. That's the process that should be started next July here in Washington. The EU has said, yes, you're going to be in the European Union, Ukraine and Moldova, by the way. And the EU has said, let's start the formal negotiations. And those formal negotiations should start in Brussels between the EU officials and Ukrainian officials in January, next month. So that negotiation should start. That'll take time. That's a longer negotiation with the EU than with NATO. The NATO negotiation needs to happen, and it needs to start. And I would say it needs to start in July, next July at the summit. But that can go more quickly. The main thing there is to end the war, to win the war, and then the negotiations can culminate in actual membership. And that can go in a matter of months or a year. I mean, that can go fairly quickly. Whereas the European Union negotiations, they're probably going to take 2 years to 3 years at best. The Ukrainians would like to have it go 2 or 3 years. I've heard some Europeans say it may take 5. I've heard other Europeans say it could take 10. But nonetheless, that will be longer for the EU negotiations. The NATO negotiations can go more quickly as soon as the war ends after the victory.